Hey everybody, this is World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition with the Nowherebird. I'm here in my garage taking a look at my M103. Here she is. She's been sitting in the garage a while now, empty, and I finally got her crew put in her after getting the latest skill, and now I'm ready to roll it out. Oh, hell of a tank. Uh, Weak points of note, anything on the side, anything on the back, anything on the other side. The giant tumor of a commander's hatch up on top there. In front, the two tow or plow hooks down near the wheels at the front are anything in that area is kind of weak. The mantlet is pretty good except for just the cheeks of around the gun. That's supposedly pretty weak. And I don't know. We'll find out some other places as we play along, I guess. We're getting ready to take her out for our first run. I have 0 XP on her right now. To do as far as packages on the M103 go, I got 50,000 XP to go before I get a 120 millimeter gun. Right now I've got the 105, and it, it's marginally acceptable for tier 10. It's pretty sad. Puts out 6 rounds a minute, It's not awful. Aiming time isn't great. Accuracy could be better. Doesn't rotate very well. Turret traverse is kind of mediocre. And when we get the 120 millimeter, pen will jump up to 242 from 198, and the damage will jump to 400. So that'll be a much needed boost. I don't think the engine really gets much of a boost though. From 810 it gets up to 860 from 810. So The last gun though jumps up to 258 millimeters of penetration, 5.36 rounds a minute. Firing rate and damage stays at 400, but the accuracy does jump down to 0.37 from 0.4, so good deal there. Traverse speed on the tracks is still pretty weak, and turret's still pretty weak, but whatever. That's what we're shooting for, and it's gonna be a while. We got basically 152,300 experience just to get through the packages, and then another 185,000 on top of that. So we're looking at 237,000. No, 300. Oh my God, 337,000 experience points. Get to the next town. So we'll be driving this tank for a while. Let's look at some consumables. Haven't got anything loaded up. Probably won't use that much high explosive. Probably put 10 rounds on here. And then, yeah, 40, 10, 10. That's a good spot. Oh, maybe I should try something else. I'm going to just put a small repair, small first aid, and a small manual fire extinguisher. Should probably jump those up to large as we have some in whatever. Our equipment, we don't think I started out with a large caliber tank gun rammer just because the reload speeds need to be up a bit. Threw a toolbox on there, and I didn't quite know what else I was going to throw on. Take it out in a few battles and see if the ammo rack gets hit a lot, or if the gas tank gets hit a lot, or I don't know. We'll see what else needs. Yeah, we'll throw some camo on it. A buck for camo. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep this tank, so I'll just throw it on for 7. Not much. Don't really have much to say about the American camo schemes, that's for sure. Do we really need it? I don't know. Gray tanks just look boring. Really, who cares about imaginary silver? Suppose I will once I start getting my tier 10s lined up, but not anywhere there just yet. Good. Iwo Jima color scheme. We'll go with that. Just want to check real quick and see what our sight distance is. 370. It's not bad. Eventually it gets up to 390. You know, optics might not be awful to put on there. We'll see. We'll see what it gives. Alright, let us take this sucker out. See what she's made of. Alright, here we are in our first battle on Redshire. And we spawn in the south, and we get ready to head out. And here we go, we sped things up a bit. And I decided to head over to this side of the mountain this time and try to play a bit of a forward position. Alright, so we slow down and we've got a scout off to our right. He's heading out to get a peek at things. I always love it when our scouts do that. I get lit up already and we don't see anything yet, but now we've got a heavy tank coming up over the little ridge there. So he hasn't come over yet, and I decided to move a little bit forward. Make sure we can get some shots in him if he decides to poke up over that ridge. See him, it's an E75. And I throw one of my first shot of Mini into that little rock that's hidden behind that bush there. Throw a shot at that T-54E1 and miss. And now I notice that there's two heavies, and those are obviously the guys who had spotted me earlier. Start throwing a couple shots into the M103. Now there's an E75. That's the next baddie that's come up that road. Trying to pay attention to the guys that are on the other side of this ridge still. Keep them kosher. Now we got an IS-3 pushing up that road. Oh, the M103 gets another one in the back of his turret, and you know, like I said, the back and sides of the M103 are really weak. As are the sides of the T-32. Oh, now we got a tortoise kind of poking up, and T-54E1 has come up on top of the hill, kind of back behind me. So I'm really wary at this point of what he's doing. Seems to be content to just hang there for the moment. Oh, here's a T-71 come to spot something, and gets a shot in the side for his troubles. Oh, and then about now I notice that that T-54E1 is looking a little sketch. And he decides that he wants to make a move here. So I turn my turret back around, throw a shot into his side, and luckily he managed to hit my tracks. And he backs off, and man, I thought he might stay around and throw a few more shots into me, but maybe that's the only one he had available. T-71 throws a shot at me, and I throw another shot into the rock hidden behind that bush. And it will it'll get a few more of my bullets into it there. Somehow miss on that T-71. Didn't have the reticle fully closed there. Now I gotta notice I got a heavy up on the hill behind me too. So I'm always kind of keeping half an eye towards him and what he might be doing. Now move up and try to take some shots into the tortoise here. Shoot for the cupola here. Manage to bounce it. Always a hoot. I decided to come a little bit lower. Maybe I can get an idea of where that heavy is up there. Oh, and there he is. Just over the ridge. Take a look at the tortoise and he takes a look at me. I get my shot off and he misses. Thank goodness. And I'm trying to keep my front pointed towards the most dangerous enemy I can. And that was a tortoise and the heavies on the far side for a while. Throw another shell into that rock. Oh man. I think it was about that time I realized there's a giant rock there. And we finish off the tortoise. Last few hit points on him. Now it's time to come deal with this T-32. He's got trouble from all angles now. So I'm not too terribly worried. Point my front towards him and bounce a shell. Ram his wheel to keep him towards my front. He shows a shot off my turret and I throw one into his side for the kill. And that wraps up the first game pretty much.
Good job, guys.
Not a bad way to start out. We wind up with like 1,300 base experience. With our 2x multiplier, takes out to 2,600. And I got premium, so that's 3,900. Not too shabby. I think during this period the mastery badges were funky, so wind up getting a second class mastery badge out of that. We put up some good damage numbers. It's not too bad. 3,004 points, 2 kills. Not too shabby for a first game. For our second game, we wind up on Cliff. Good old map. And it's an encounter battle. So we speed off towards the middle. And I was thinking, you know, we'll keep an eye on some tanks. There's a bunch of other mediums who kind of come up here, and I thought we'd kind of back them up, but we wind up being on the front lines. There's 2 artillery in play, so we kind of got to keep an eye on them. But this is, I don't know, it's not a bad area to wind up being artillery safe. Some rocks to hide behind. Some good ground to back up quickly. You got the slope, so you can pick up some speed. I'm just trying to keep the guys, enemies, from coming up on top of this little ridge if I can. Crazy IS-8 comes out in the open and we missed our shot on it. I was trying to hit him in the back end, maybe track him or get a good shot in his side, but he winds up dying pretty quick anyway. We got some decent backup up here, and thank goodness, because they brought quite a few tanks up as well. I'm seeing lots of outlines, but I'm not seeing any good shots on tanks here. So I back up a little up this hill, see if we can get a little bit better angle, and we spot the top of this Yad Tiger, and we put a shot into him. He turns our way, so we get the heck out of there. We haven't seen too much arty come our way yet. C-75 looks like he's peeking up over the top a little. Oh no, now an E-100 starts coming around. Not good. Not good. Take a look at the E-75 again, and the medium throws a shot that bounces. Man, not looking good. E-100's around the corner there. If they start taking shots, try to come up and keep the E-75 honest again, but I think he's just popping over and scouting to see who's left over here. And we've had our numbers thinned out a little bit. Back up for artillery and let this Foch come around and do whatever maneuvering he wants to do. And I decided to come try to help out with this E100 now that he's taking a little bit of a pounding. And oh, he just missed. Just missed getting artilleried right there. And take a look around here. Oh, and it's a waffle E100. Oh my goodness. Throw a shot at him and miss. It's looking a little scary here. The Foch has come up towards the middle of this little ridge. I guess he's going after the E75. Keeping an eye on the E100 there and seeing if I can put some shots into this waffle trigger here. E100 starts giving me the hairy eyeball. Throw a shot into him and he puts a big old shot into us. We're not going to be able to sit and trade shots with him. Our track gets back up. Oh, and that waffle trigger's looking the other direction, so there's a shot for you. And we break his gun. C100's giving me the evil eyeball here. I rock back and forth a little bit. And he manages to miss a shot on me, or he's shooting for the guy behind me. Looking at the waffle trigger, hit him and kill him, but oh, the C75 comes up behind me and just plants one into my backside. Try to do the same for him here, but just wind up hitting his rear track. Now I start focusing on the C100 to try to take out that threat since he's nice and flat to me here. Throw another one at him, but he's already dead. And then I die. And I got obliterated by a T110E3 on the far side. That was kind of a quick game. But, you know, we got, I don't know, decent loser points, if you can call them that, I guess. I don't know. Anything above 500 for a loss is, you know, you're doing all right. You know, we put 1,400 points out there in a tier 10 game. All right, for our last battle of the video, we have Mountain Pass Snow version. And we spawn up in the northwest corner, and I really speed things up here because it's just a whole lot of driving. Some people peel off, go towards the bridge. I follow these two heavies out towards the far south side here. We encounter a Pershing really quick who backs off around the corner, and a T-25-2. Oh, and there were two of them there for a second. Kind of start taking peeks at them to see what they're doing, and looks like they're hanging back. They got an M103 look at them, and they're not too eager to go take him on. So I move up and try to help out with this Pershing. Put my side to the rock so the T-25-2s don't get me, and I start throwing shells into the Pershing. He starts bouncing off me. We start turning to face him. We have a heavy tank that's gone to take care of the T-25-2, so I'm not too worried about getting hit in the back, but I want to keep my face pointing towards that Pershing so we don't lose any unnecessary hit points. We could have just turned the turret, but why be crazy? And we got a French heavy up here, and we shoot him in the turret. And the T-25-2s are running for it. We throw one into the rear end, and our Carnivon takes him out. And now we just basically are chasing them. Chasing them around the corner. Oh, that T-25-2 retreated that direction. We can almost get him, but our circle doesn't close quite quick enough, and I just didn't want to throw a shell out there. We weren't well in. Good aimed in there. French heavy is retreated down the hillside, and we start trying to finish him off. First shot, blam! right in the gun mantlet, and that bounces. And oh, cheeky little bugger throws a shot into our belly, probably. Shoot for the turret, and that's a big miss, and he just gets rammed to death. Consider going back that way, but the artillery and the tank destroyer over there seem to have everything in hand. And the other heavy starts heading off that direction. I move off to help this heavy with the tank destroyer and the artillery at base. And he's taking a little bit of a beating, but he finishes off the artillery. Try to close the angle as quickly as possible to help him out. Oh, and it's a Foch. We're looking at him. Throw one into his engine, but it's too late. Too late for our buddy. He gets taken out. Throw another one into his side here, and I kind of back up because it looks like he was turning our direction. But he may have been facing the other heavies that were coming up the ramp there. Pull back a little bit, let him start worrying about the other heavies, and then I'll move back out to re-engage with him. And I'm moving around. Foch starts taking fire. Make sure my left flank is clear. I turn back towards the Foch. I'm getting ready to shoot him, and he dies before I can complete the mission there. That was kind of a missed opportunity, just like that French heavy was. Missed opportunity to rack up a kill. So now this T-95 is the only enemy left, and everybody's racing around to get some shots on him. Light tank's up above shooting at him. We come around the corner. Stop. Start aiming for the hatch. Hatch, and he dies before we can get our shot off. Last missed opportunity of the game. But we won, and with minimal casualties, so that's a good thing. Here we go. Just under 1,000 experience points. Yeah, we're top tier, and it looked like a really heavy low tier game, so take what you can get. We got 7 good shots in. And we wind up doing 2,000 some odd experience, and there you are. Hope you enjoyed this little compilation of M103 games. Maybe we'll bring some more back in later. Rip it up out there, people. We'll see you next time.